Why so many men feel invisible at home, mixed signals and emotional manipulation, the nice guy trap and why it doesn't work. When he stays out too late, the whole family pays the price. Financial infidelity, the betrayal that nobody talks about in marriage, guys. The number one relationship hack. You can't fix people with love. Why so many men feel invisible at home. Welcome to the Morrow Marriage Podcast, guys, where this is gonna hurt some men's feelings. Why do you feel invisible? Because you create an environment where she doesn't want to look at you anymore. She doesn't want to look up from her phone. You know, I mean, let's just think about how many of you dive so much into work, doing your responsibility, and then the typical MO for a dude, and this is not every man, but typically you stop being involved at home. Your wife takes that over. And of course, when we know that the symptom of a bad marriage, the biggest one is the lack of physical intimacy, okay? Or quality sex, I should say. That's the symptom.
Job sex doesn't count.
Job sex doesn't count, okay? So we know that you start to feel very unheard, unloved, because you are trying to be the man, I'm doing everything, and because you don't get that love, you don't feel good enough. The moment you don't feel good enough, you feel invisible, okay? The moment
hold on, that sounds like a you problem, not you.
Oh, yeah.
But the moment that, did you hear that? The moment that you feel not good enough, you feel invisible, that means that your invisibility, if that's a word, is tied to you not feeling good enough. That means that you're feeling invisible not because of yourself. That's what I just heard. Mm-hmm. Not because of whatever your wife is or is not doing, or your husband is or is not doing. You don't feel good enough, so you feel invisible. That's a you problem. Am I wrong?
No, you're 100% right. Because let's flip this for a second. Let's just say you feel like an ATM. Heard that one twice last week. I feel like an ATM. Well, no, that's a you problem. You make money. She spends money. I'm sure you do too, by the way.
Sounds like a perfect match.
Yeah.
Actually.
But if the boundaries or the budget or whatever needed to be in place wasn't, instead you enabled, yeah, baby, you can have that, whatever you need. That happened at one point. And that one point kept it going. It's not like one day she just started blowing all the money, man. Like, are you kidding? Very few people will be like, ooh, my first card from you, thank you, and then fucking go nuts.
Very few. It does. We know that it happens, but it's like, I don't know what the percentage is. In our program, not very many.
100%.
I don't know if I've actually met a woman that has done that.
No, I hear about
in our program.
I hear about it from men.
I know women that have done it, don't get me wrong, just not in our program.
Yeah, I hear about it from men in my program all the time. But like, listen, again, they don't make you feel something. You know, and by the way, side note on that, I don't care if you say you made me feel or they say you made me feel. Like, you guys, who fucking cares? You know the feeling. They're saying the feeling, if it's the right feeling anyway, right? But so they don't make you feel invisible. They don't make you feel like an ATM. They don't make you feel lonely. Who are you, right? How present? I'll give you an example, like the other way around. So men learn in my program, one of the skills that I'm really good at teaching men is how to balance everything. Because if you want the whole life, you can't just, you notice how when you just worked, your marriage started to crumble, you know, your family life started to go away, okay? And so you have to do both. Well, wait, if you want to enjoy that family for a long time, you got to also find time to be healthy, right? And that means you have to do everything. In my program, I also say you need true purpose. Why? To fill your cup. Why? So you don't feel like you're not good enough, even if she says you're not good enough. Even if she says you're a fuck up. Even if she says, I don't want to fuck you, gross. Like, it doesn't matter because you're not tied to your wife, okay?
And you also shouldn't say that to your husband. If anybody's listening and you hear, oh, that's what women say, I don't want to fuck you, gross. No, you don't get to say that. Even if you think it in your mind, like, I never actually said that to you. I did tell you you were repulsive in a conversation, but I didn't say it in response like that. Like, don't go take out all the stops and just be as mean as you can. Just because you hear, because we've said this multiple times on the podcast, where I don't know if you have clients that women have actually said that to them.
Well, they get
or
more
that's
of
just how they
it's a
feel.
grossed out look.
Right.
It's a grossed out look. Like, or you go right for a more traditional line, which would be like, all you care about is sex.
Right.
Right. And so this is when you start to realize this, it's actually all about you, the man that is showing up. The way I describe it when I teach, when I really get into it, is like, if you want an extraordinary marriage, then you need to be extraordinary. If you want to have her talk to you, then you need to be exciting to talk about and talk to. What did I say first? To talk about. Why? Kathryn, when she's talking to people or people are talking to me about Kathryn, we have
We have
lots
nice
to
things
say
to say
about
and
each
nice
other.
things,
Yes.
exciting things. Think about when your marriage is not doing well and you get into, so women, specifically I'm talking to women, you go out for a girls' night, everybody wants to bitch about their fucking husbands. Really? Nobody will do that around me anymore because I don't tolerate it, but I used to do it. I used to definitely badmouth him behind his back, and he used to badmouth me behind my back. Just because we did it doesn't mean that you guys get to do it, because you're supposed to learn from our mistakes. But when he says exciting to talk to and exciting to talk about, if you're exciting to talk about, of course you're going to be exciting to talk to. Because when you talk to someone, you learn about them, and then you go tell everybody else. It's like the way that you talk about your kids. You might get frustrated with your kids. You might get frustrated with your husband. So there's normal conversation that you can have with your friends. Go back to when we were talking about the girl that flirted and was afraid to talk to me. Well, that could have been a regular conversation. It ended up coming out in a way that it shouldn't have, but could have been just a regular conversation. Let me know that these are some things you're struggling with, right? But same thing with your kids. You're struggling with these things with your kids. You're not threatening to like give your kids away. You might make jokes about it actually, but you're not threatening to give your kids away.
I do.
So when you talk about, yeah, you do all the time. We're not giving our kids away. They're not for sale. And neither is this one, even though he used to be in the past. Nobody giving them away for free, actually. Back on track. So talk about your kids. Sometimes you can be frustrated. That's okay. Healthy conversation, learning from each other, talking about your husband in a not so positive way. It's okay if it's not super critical and if you're with the right people that can turn you around. But the goal, think about the reason I was saying the kids is that normally you would talk about how good they're doing with their schooling, the sports that they play, the way that they're kind. You don't always talk about the negative. You talk about how smart your kids are, how kind they are, the good things. That's what you should be doing with your husband, right? You talk about the things that he's doing that are, benefiting the family, how you're so proud of him. If maybe he took on a new job and he has to get up at 3:00 in the morning to be able to commute to work in the freezing cold in Canada, maybe where we used to live. Like, you should be talking about that stuff. I'm so thankful for him. These are the things he's doing. And not only that, he works at a diamond mine and he brought home this piece of coal that he got I don't even know, right? I'm making stuff up. But it has to be exciting to talk to your friends and talk to your husband.
Yeah, that's why I say talk about first. They'll want to know more information about you, okay, if you're exciting to talk about. Otherwise, it's the same old shit, which is what happens, why people get into a pattern of, like you said, going out and bitching about your husband. Now, men, you do the same fucking thing, okay? And if you can realize, like, mostly it's a little bit different, right? Mostly it's a little bit different, you heard me.
I think that makes sense. Mostly it's a little bit different.
Okay, excuse me. For example, women start to feel invisible because they don't feel seen, they don't feel heard, because you defend yourself instead of being her partner when she says she needs help. When you can see she's stressed out and you blow it off or tell her she's too sensitive, she starts to feel like she doesn't matter. When you work too hard and you don't prioritize her. But men, it's like, see, in both cases, when you feel invisible and when she feels invisible, you see how I can easily show you all the things that you're doing wrong as a man. Meaning, if you want to be seen, and I describe it like Kathryn sees into me. I see into her, not through, okay? Like, when you want that, man, I think you can create the environment for that connection. Yes, Kathryn gave some examples of how women could be better and not do this and not do that. But really, if you can take responsibility for the tone, I don't remember if I told you this on the podcast or not, but I definitely coached with it. I told a man the other day, like, we have all the fucking energy to put into everybody at work, to pour into everybody at work, the morale, whatever, and then you go home and you have nothing left for your wife or your kids. Shouldn't those be the people you do? No, I've already done it all day. 3 days later, reflecting, he's like, oh yeah. So you want to be, and this man wants to get fucked more, okay? Like, I say that because he's...
This man or every man?
Well, every man. But I mean, I'm saying it like that, like, get fucked, because he's like, he didn't even get the basic making love shit because he's not showing up. He's feeling invisible because he is literally making choices that prevent him from having a wife that wants to see him, right? And I think this is so common. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
Of course I do, baby.
Do you want to flip that and put anything more on women, or you agree with me?
I agree with him. I think the only way I could flip it is women, you always want to be seen and heard and understood. That's basically what he just said, right? The only way that you are going to be seen and heard and understood and valued is for, and I know this seems backwards, but you need to see and hear and understand and value your husband first. Because men are supposed to be these big alpha leaders. They're supposed to do all these things. But if you're listening to this podcast, If you're the woman, your husband probably isn't sitting in a position of leadership, let alone headship. So he's not
In your home.
In your home. He might be in his, I don't care what he's doing in his job. I'm talking to you about your marriage. But yes, he might be, and that makes you frustrated because he's a leader at work and he can't be a leader at home. But if you don't start seeing him, think back to the apology where he said that I did something and I didn't defend myself. I didn't even realize I did it. And I didn't say that at the time. I said it in front of you guys at the podcast. I didn't say, when he said to me, so go back to the apology one, you did it 4 times. I wanted to say, no, I didn't, but I didn't say that. Today on the podcast, I said, I didn't even realize I did that. That's a repair attempt, right? We're talking about it. But I touched him. I'm making sure that I'm not getting defensive. So to see him, I have to see that he was hurting. I felt like I should have defended myself because I still don't think I did it 4 times. But you know what? Here's the point. It doesn't matter. He feels something. I feel something. He's the one that's hurt. I'm not hurt. I could make myself hurt if I try to convince myself that he's wrong. Why do I care? It's so small. So I have to see him. I have to hear him. I have to touch him. That means I understand him and I have to value him. That's why I'm putting his feelings before mine. Because this is such a stupid thing to fight about. And we're not fighting about it. So the way that you're going to be seen and heard and valued and understood is by doing it first. Because even though he's supposed to be this big, bowed alpha male leader, he's not right now. But the reason that he's not, probably part of that is because you're not edifying him. You're not lifting him up and you're not seeing him for the man that he was created to be. And it's impossible for you to be the woman you were created to be unless you can do that for the man. Men came first. Women came second. We were literally made. Eve was made from Adam's rib. She wouldn't have existed without him. But he needed her. He wouldn't have made progress and had success without her. So is it the chicken or the egg? No, the man came first. Actually, literally, biblically.
So there you have it. If
you're welcome for all of that. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
If both of you feel invisible, you both have a part to play. And you know what? If you're the one listening and you're in, then I guess you're going to have to just dive in and lead. Okay? We'll see you next time.